Have you ever looked at someone's life online and suddenly felt like you were falling behind, even though nothing in your life actually changed? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Easy Listen English. I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. And wow, Sarah, before we started recording today, I saw you scrolling through Instagram looking absolutely miserable.
Oh, stop it. I wasn't miserable. I was just observing.
Observing? You had that face on. You know the face people make when they see someone's vacation photos and suddenly their own life feels like a documentary about watching paint dry.
Okay, fine. Maybe I was feeling a tiny bit, envious. My friend just posted pictures from the Maldives, and I'm sitting here eating leftover pasta from Tuesday.
See? And that's exactly what we're talking about today, folks. Why do people compare their lives on social media? It's like we've all become professional stalkers of other people's highlight reels.
That's actually a perfect way to put it. We're going to dive into this fascinating and honestly quite emotional topic today. Because, let's be real, we've all been there.
Oh, absolutely. I once spent 20 minutes looking at a guy's photos from his new job, his new car, his new apartment, and by the end of it, I was questioning every life choice I'd ever made. And you know what the worst part was?
What?
I don't even like that guy. We went to school together and he used to steal my lunch money.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? It doesn't matter who they are. When you're scrolling through social media, everyone seems to have it all figured out. Everyone's living their best life, traveling to exotic places, eating at fancy restaurants, getting promotions.
Well, you're in your pajamas at 3 in the afternoon wondering if cheese on toast counts as a legitimate meal.
Exactly. And that's what makes this topic so important, because social media has fundamentally changed how we see ourselves and others. It's created this culture of constant comparison.
It's exhausting. Back in the day, you only had to compare yourself to your neighbors, maybe your colleagues. Now you're comparing yourself to literally billions of people. Billions.
And not even the real versions of those people. You're comparing yourself to the carefully edited, filtered, perfectly angled versions they choose to show.
Right. Nobody posts a selfie with the caption, "Just cried in my car for 15 minutes because work was stressful and I forgot to buy milk again."
Although, honestly, that would probably get
Even though you know logically that nobody's life is actually perfect. Like that influencer posting about her morning yoga routine and green smoothie, she probably argued with her partner about who left the milk out, just like everyone else.
Probably, but you don't see that part. You only see the polished final product. And over time, that creates this distorted view of reality.
It's like comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's showreel.
That's exactly it. And the more you do it, the worse you feel. Studies have actually shown that spending too much time on social media is linked to higher rates of anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem.
Well, that's cheerful. Thanks for that, Sarah.
I know, but it's important to understand because once you recognize what's happening, you can start to change your relationship with social media.
Okay, so let's break this down. Why do people actually do this? Like, what's going on in our brains that makes us torture ourselves by scrolling through other people's perfect lives?
Well, there are several reasons. First, there's what we call FOMO, which stands for fear of missing out.
Oh, FOMO is real. I once saw friends posting from a party I wasn't invited to, and I spent the whole evening pretending I was having an even better time at home. I posted a picture of my cat with the caption, "Best night ever," just to seem mysterious.
Did anyone believe you?
My mom liked it, so partial success.
FOMO makes us feel like everyone else is doing something more interesting, more exciting, more valuable than what we're doing, and social media is basically FOMO central.
It's FOMO headquarters. It's like a museum dedicated to all the things you're not doing.
Then there's the validation aspect. We post things hoping to get likes, comments, positive feedback, and when we don't get as much attention as someone else, we start to feel inadequate.
Oh man, the likes game is brutal. You post something you think is hilarious or profound, and it gets 3 likes. Then your friend posts a blurry picture of their breakfast and gets 200.
And suddenly you're analyzing everything. Is my content not good enough? Am I not interesting? Should I start posting pictures of my breakfast?
Spoiler alert, the answer is always yes. People love breakfast photos. I don't understand it, but they do.
But here's the thing. That validation we're seeking, it's temporary. Even if you get 1,000 likes, the feeling doesn't last. You're back to square one pretty quickly, looking for the next hit of approval.
It's like an emotional hamster wheel. You keep running, but you never actually get anywhere.
Exactly. And then there's another layer to this whole comparison thing. A lot of people compare themselves to others because they're trying to figure out how they should be living their lives.
Like, oh, everyone my age is getting married and buying houses. Should I be doing that too?
Right. We look to others as a kind of benchmark. But the problem is, everyone's journey is different. Just because someone else is doing something doesn't mean it's the right path for you.
But try telling that to your brain at midnight when you're scrolling through LinkedIn and everyone from your high school class is apparently a CEO or a successful entrepreneur or has founded a charity that saves orphaned puppies.
Meanwhile, you're proud that you finally organized your sock drawer.
Hey, that's a legitimate achievement. Do you know how many socks I have? Neither do I, that's the problem.
I think what makes social media comparison particularly damaging is that it's so constant. In the past, you might compare yourself to people occasionally, at a family gathering maybe, or a school reunion.
Where you could at least see that everyone had gotten a bit older and nobody actually had it all together.
Exactly. But now it's every single day. Every time you pick up your phone, there's a new opportunity to feel bad about yourself.
And we pick up our phones a lot. I read somewhere that the average person checks their phone like 150 times a day. That sounds about right. And each time you're potentially exposing yourself to content that makes you feel inadequate.
You know what really gets me? The fake authenticity. Like people posting carefully staged photos with captions about keeping it real and being vulnerable.
Oh, the no makeup selfie that clearly has makeup on.
Or the messy hair don't care post where every hair is perfectly in place. It's like, come on, if you're going to pretend to be authentic, at least commit to the bit.
But that's part of the problem, isn't it? Even authenticity has become a performance. People are curating their authentic moments to make them look more authentic. My brain hurts now.
Mine too. But it's fascinating when you think about it. We've created this culture where even being real has to look good.
I blame filters. Filters have ruined us. I mean, I love a good filter, don't get me wrong. I once used one that made me look like a potato, and I've never laughed so hard. But when every photo is filtered, smoothed, enhanced, and edited, we start to forget what real people actually look like.
I saw this thing online where someone met an influencer in real life and didn't recognize them because they looked so different from their photos. That's wild.
It is wild. And it creates unrealistic standards. Young people especially are growing up thinking that's what they're supposed to look like, act like, be like.
And then they feel bad when they don't measure up to something that was never real in the first place.
It's a vicious cycle. The more people present these perfect versions of themselves, the more pressure everyone else feels to do the same. And the more we all collectively pretend that our lives are perfect, the more isolated we actually become. Because nobody wants to admit that they're struggling when everyone else seems fine.
That's such an important point. Social media can actually increase loneliness, even though it's supposed to connect us.
Because you're not really connecting, you're just comparing. You're looking at everyone else's highlight reel and feeling bad about your own life.
And you know what? A lot of the time, the people whose lives look the most perfect online are actually the ones struggling the most.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes people use social media to create the life they wish they had, rather than showing the life they actually have. It becomes a form of escapism.
Huh. I never thought about it that way. So when I'm feeling jealous of someone's amazing life online, they might actually be having a terrible time?
Possibly. You just never know what's really going on behind the scenes. That's why comparison is so pointless. You're comparing your entire reality, including all the messy, difficult, boring parts, to someone else's edited highlights.
It's like comparing a rough draft to a published book.
Perfect analogy. Nobody sees the rough drafts of other people's lives. You only see the final, polished version.
So what do we do about it? Because we can't exactly stop using social media. I mean, we could, but then how would I know what my cousin's dog is up to?
Crucial information, obviously.
Absolutely crucial.
Well, there are some strategies. First, be aware of how social media makes you feel. If you notice you feel bad after scrolling, that's valuable information.
Like, if Instagram is making you feel inadequate, maybe take a break from it.
Exactly. You can also curate your feed. Unfollow accounts that make you feel bad. Follow accounts that inspire you or make you laugh or teach you something useful.
So less, look at my perfect life, and more, here's a video of a dog learning to skateboard.
Whatever works for you. The point is to be intentional about what you're consuming.
I like that. Be intentional. Don't just mindlessly scroll.
Right. And remember, you can use social media without letting it use you. Set boundaries. Maybe don't check it first thing in the morning or right before bed.
Those are the danger times. You wake up and immediately see that everyone's having a better morning than you, or you go to sleep feeling like your life is inadequate.
Exactly. Protect your peace, as they say.
Protect your peace. I like that too. You're full of wisdom today, Sarah.
I try, but honestly, the most important thing is to remember that social media is not reality. It's a curated, edited version of reality.
And everyone's struggling with something even if they don't show it online.
Everyone. Nobody has it all figured out, no matter how perfect their feed looks.
You know what? That's actually really comforting. Like we're all just doing our best and pretending we know what we're doing.
Pretty much. And there's something beautiful about that, don't you think? We're all in this together, even if social media tries to make us feel separate and competitive.
Yeah, I like that perspective. We're all just humans trying to navigate this weird modern world where everyone has a camera and an audience.
Speaking of navigating this world, I used that phrase earlier, and I think we should talk about it properly now.
Which phrase?
Measure up. Remember? I said people feel like they're not measuring up.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what does that actually mean? I mean, I kind of get it from context, but
Good question. So, measure up is a really common phrasal verb in English, and it's perfect for this topic. When you measure up, you're comparing yourself to a standard or to other people to see if you're good enough.
okay, so like, I don't measure up to my colleagues.
Exactly. It means you feel like you're not as good as them or you're not meeting the expected standard. It comes from the idea of literally measuring something with a ruler to see if it's the right size.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's like you're measuring yourself against others and feeling like you don't quite reach the mark.
Precisely. You can use it in lots of situations. For example, she felt like she didn't measure up to her older sister who was a doctor.
Or, no matter how hard I try, I never feel like I measure up to the expectations people have of me.
Perfect. And you'll often hear it with to or against. Like, I'm constantly measuring myself against people on social media.
Which is basically what this whole episode has been about. People feeling like they don't measure up because of what they see online.
Exactly. And here's the thing. When you measure up, you're usually comparing yourself to some external standard. But who decides that standard? Often, it's arbitrary or unrealistic.
Like the perfect Instagram life that doesn't actually exist.
Right. So the next time you catch yourself feeling like you don't measure up, ask yourself, what am I measuring against? Is that even a fair or realistic standard?
Mind blown. That's actually really useful.
I'm glad. It's one of those phrases that once you know it, you'll hear it everywhere.
I'm definitely going to start using it. Sorry I can't make it to the party. I'm too busy measuring up to society's expectations.
That's one way to use it, I suppose.
I'll work on it.
So let's do a quick recap of some of the useful vocabulary we've covered today. Obviously, measure up is our main phrasal verb, meaning to be good enough when compared to others or to a standard.
We also talked about FOMO, which is fear of missing out, that feeling that everyone else is doing something better than you.
We mentioned curated, which means carefully selected and presented, like a curated social media feed where you only show the best parts of your life.
Highlight reel came up too. That's when you only show the highlights or best moments, not the boring or difficult parts.
And we talked about validation, which is getting approval or confirmation from others that you're good enough or doing the right thing.
Those are all super useful for talking about social media and modern life.
Absolutely. These are the kinds of words and phrases you'll hear all the time in everyday English conversation.
Especially if you spend any time talking to people about social media, which, let's face it, we all do.
Way too much, probably.
Definitely too much. But hey, at least now we understand why we're all so obsessed with comparing ourselves to each other.
Understanding is the first step, and hopefully our listeners will take away some useful insights today, not just about English, but about how to navigate social media in a healthier way.
Yeah, remember folks, everyone's life is messier than it looks online. We're all just doing our best. And that person whose life looks perfect, they're probably sitting in their pajamas at 3 p.m. eating cheese on toast too.
There's nothing wrong with cheese on toast.
That's exactly what I keep telling myself.
Well, I think that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for listening to Easy Listen English.
It's been real, it's been fun, and remember, you're doing better than you think you are.
Love that. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend. Not to show off, but because you genuinely think they'd find it useful.
See what she did there? Even our sharing should be authentic.
Always. All right, everyone, take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.